And hello and welcome. I'm just going to go over a few quick changes that LinkedIn have brought through recently, give you an indication on some of the positive stuff and things you might want to consider. First off the bat is to do with the images and the headline banners. Some of the things I'm talking to you here are available to premium customers only. If you're business to business, it's about £100 a year, about $150 a year, something like that. I believe it's something you should seriously consider. It makes a big difference on what you can do, the tools you can use, and what you can see. So, covering off some of the things you can see, you'll start seeing emerging in the next few weeks. Some of these are early adopter schemes that you have to apply for too. So, there's banner changes, first thing, which is to do with the images at the top of your screen. You can change the size of your headshot, make it a bit bigger, and you can also add a background. Some of them are free. There's a gallery there you can pick from, or you can create your own image and put that up there, and I'll demonstrate some of these a little later on. Secondly, open profiles. Good or bad thing, I think this one's a little questionable and does need some testing, but what it does allow you to do is open up your profile to the entirety of LinkedIn. So last count about 275 million, which was some months ago, so they're probably heading for 300 million people that could potentially view your profile. Clients or spam? I think that's the question. We'll go over that in a little further detail as well. Other areas, who's viewed your profile? Again, a premium section where you can see who's been looking at you. Can be very useful for your intelligence to find out who's stalking you. Also, how you rank is another element there that, against your competition. You can see how you feature in LinkedIn against those that are of interest to you or competing with you. Another thing that's come up recently is something that they took away, as they do, and now they seem to have brought back, albeit hidden a little bit, and that's to do with recent activity. And I'll show you how you can look at your connections and see the recent activities that they've been making, which I think you hopefully will find pretty useful. And the other thing is just a little bit of a favourite which I'm banging on about at the moment, which is the ability to now blog post on LinkedIn. The distribution channels are pretty big. With the numbers of people that are out there, and I've found it quite a positive experience, so I'll share some things on that for you as well. So I hope you enjoy it, and we'll crack on right now. So let's start with the new profile page, which has a new banner right across the top, as you can see. Might not be quite scaled right on your computer, but you'll get the idea. Once you're in Edit Profile, if you go to Edit Background, it comes up with a range of different options that they allow you to put in, or you can go and create your profile. And the image requirements, as you can see, it needs to be quite big at 1400 by 425 pixels to look best. And you can do that on Keynote or PowerPoint or something like that, and then create a JPEG image and send it in. So that's adds a little interest and texture and richness to your background. And then secondly, the image is now allowing bigger images to be used and wider scale, so that allows for some additional changes to be made to the cosmetics of the front of your site. Not that it looks that brilliant for me, but anyway, there we go. So that gives you an idea. Moving down the page a bit, if we go back actually to done editing so we can look at my profile straightforwardly. Here's a new section which appears on mine, which LinkedIn are pushing like crazy, and I happen to love. It's to do with long form blog posting. And if I just click on one of these articles, you can see this one, which was relatively recent, within a couple of days, June the 25th, had 262 people look at it. It's been shared quite widely on LinkedIn and with a couple of comments on the bottom as well. You can also link to different sections on your own web territory. So I wrote this about a group called the Norfolk and Suffolk Future Group, but equally when I click on the link down the bottom, this goes now to my blog, which is a very, very handy thing for people to be able to do, and funny enough, it allows me to repurpose the same article on that image there, which is really, from the purposes of your internet marketing, the more you can use a singular piece of content on a number of platforms, obviously there's an economy of time, and it also it's useful for indexing on the web as well. Okay, also on my profile, once again I think this is to do with the very lowest level of premium that you can get to this. If you want to upgrade, there's a button over here you can go and press, and that will allow you to see all the different options there. But there's a thing called Who Viewed Your Profile. Now, as you can see at the top end, there's a sort of graph of who looks where and who does what, and how many views you get per day. And underneath it is a number and list of people who have been looking at me in the last few days. So it's always quite healthy, and from an intelligence point of view, business intelligence, it can be really interesting, because on occasions they can be clients, and on occasions they can be competitors. So it's always handy to have that kind of information there. Another area that they are sharing is how you rank against your competition and the people that are your connections. Now, right at the top, Melanie Dodaro is one of potentially the biggest people in the world on LinkedIn, as is Wayne Breitbarth, as is Nathan Keevan, as is Neil Schaffer. These are some top social media people around the world. Your aim and ambition, obviously, is to get as near to those guys as you can. And this is a useful way of measuring your rank, which is at the moment I'm number 80, which is something clearly I'm going to be looking to improve over the coming weeks. Now I understand where I am. So here we are in my settings for LinkedIn. A couple of things here I just want to show you, not necessarily new, but this is a very handy feature called In Mails. Allows you to send a message to anybody on LinkedIn, and what they guarantee is that they will get it. They don't guarantee that they will respond, but this is one of the most powerful tools that a premium platform gets you on LinkedIn if you're in that business premium section. We mentioned Open Profile. It used to be called Open Link. By accepting Open Link, again on a premium platform, you open yourself up to being contacted, and as I understand it, to be seen now by everybody on LinkedIn. Now, I've read a couple of blog posts on this that are suggesting that it's gone beyond messaging and that people can see your profile and get all the detail that they need. I think that needs a little checking, and I will do that and come back to you on that. But certainly, in terms of messaging, people will be able to send you messages from anywhere, even whether they're connected or not. Coming down the page a little bit, I mentioned how you rank. You can turn that off or on. I personally choose to have it on. I think it's useful to help you improve your profile and see what you can do. So another useful box to have a look at is Show Hide Viewers of this profile also viewed box. Now I choose to unclick that, so people, when they come to my profile, do not see, generally on the right hand side of the page, a list of similar people and potentially competitors to my business. It is simply a matter of going to your connections block and unchecking that box, which is naturally checked, which will change that. I think you'd find that an extremely useful opportunity and option to take. One final thing to cover off. Let's have a look at Melanie Dodaro, who, as I said, is one of these big time players on LinkedIn. She's just recently released a book. Underneath her messaging, or the blue tag here, you'll see a little button called View Recent Activity. Now this is something that used to be just openly on everybody's news feeds, where you could see what people are up to. You now have to go and find it, but it's an extremely useful button to have, because you can keep an eye on what people are doing, catch up with their news, share their comments, and see what their information they're sharing. It's something that used to be there. It's now back. I think as an intelligence gathering device, it's a fantastic piece of capability to have. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed that and got some value out of this one today. I'll be back soon to tell you a little bit more about LinkedIn. Hope you have a great week. Thanks for watching.